This is Garrett Fry, the 3D digital map painting sequence lead for the construction site sequence. We're looking at shot 643. So let's go ahead and play that. So we start out low and then we end up high and settle on this view of this construction site sequence. And so there's a lot going on already in this shot. And so the things that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to sandwich your objects in between some of these other objects. You can start to replace some things, but my qualifier is that if you're going to replace something, it's got to be cooler than the thing that you're replacing. So you see like this area right here, you have this whole area right here that things can be placed, that you can sandwich stuff in. You have all of this whole area back here that you can do something with that has a ton of potential. And there's a lot of little objects in the background. It would be nice to be putting in some larger objects back there and some larger structures. If you could, build something out maybe a little bit, so it's like a partial piece of that it's like farther along than in other places. Maybe they've built a second floor or something back there. But there's a lot of opportunity to do that. The perspective on the shot is just a little bit tricky because there's so many different elevations to the ground, and so this is like the highest point. It kind of shoots down there and then it kind of goes down gradually from here. There's some sloping planes. This may be the lowest part of the shot, and then it goes back up over here, and so there's a lot of different terrain changes. And so when you put your objects in there, you have to make it look like it appears like it's in the correct perspective. And so that's a really kind of interesting challenge that that you can overcome with this shot. Also, there's a bit of a wet feel to all of this because it's rained. It's probably hasn't rained for a couple of hours, but it rained pretty heavy. You can see that there's some pooling water and the asphalt has some mud and things like that. So the things that you want to add in there, you can make it really dirty. You can see over here the kind of wetness and how dirty these buckets are, and how it's affected some of the wood. So wood is gonna dry slower than other things, the things that are plastic or metal. And so you can kind of account for that. Like this little piece right here, you can see it's a little bit darker right there. That's a really nice detail. There's that piece right there too, that says this wood is wet and it's drying unevenly. And so if there's something you can do to add that into your shot, that would help with the integration, because if you are just adding dry stuff, then it's going to look a little bit weird. Before you jump into your shot, it's a good idea to review the library of construction site materials. Do a bunch of quick matte painting tests by dragging photos into your shot and doing quick integrations. You will soon be able to discern the appropriate reference you should use for your shot.